Now let's look at network monitoring and diagnostics that's available on a ZoneDirector system. So there's a few things that we're going to look at here. We're going to talk about monitoring and statistics, rogue device detection, a little bit of testing for performance for SpeedFlex, and then also what we have available for system diagnostics. Now, as far as the monitoring and statistics information, if you're on the ZoneDirector webpage and you take a look at the dashboard, this is where a lot of the high-level monitoring information is. So this will give you your overview, it'll give you information about your mesh, your APs, your user events. All of those sort of things are available here on the dashboard. And then typically what will happen is this is where you would start. So this is a start here, and then from here you'll drill down into the more specific information, which will be up on the Monitor tab. Now, rogue AP detection is also considered part of network monitoring, and this is where we want to keep in mind that not only are we watching normal management tasks, that is to say, client activity, AP activity, but we're also interested in some security information such as the event of a rogue AP. So if you're on the interface and you go into the Monitor tab and then go under Rogue Devices, which will be on the left down towards the bottom, you'll get this screen, which shows you all of the rogue devices that have been detected in the system and all the information related to them. Now you can also, if you want to, enable rogue DHCP detection as well, and that'll give you a chance to watch and see if there's more than one DHCP server on your network and get a warning about it. Now, Map View is a way that we can show visually what's going on as far as AP placement inside a building, as well as heat maps, client information. This can also be used for triangulation of rogue APs. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to the interface and show you what it looks like on a live system. So now on the interface, to get to the map view, we'll start from the dashboard, and then from there we'll go to the Monitor tab, and from here we can go into the map view. Now the map view itself is going to be a floor plan that we import into the system of our building or whatever it is that we're using to install the devices. You'll drag and drop the APs onto the floor plan, and then from there I can get information about them. I can get a heat map like you can see here, where, as you can see from the legend on the right-hand side, in percentage of signal strength, orange and yellow being the highest signal strength, blue going down to be the lowest signal strength. And this will give you an approximation of what it looks like. If you want to and just float your mouse over one of the access points and hover it, you can get more information about the access point, like its name if you have a system name set up, its MAC address, the channels that it's set to, and so on. Now zooming back out again, you can also, as you can see up here, I could also turn on showing rogue APs. We were just talking about rogue APs. So when I turn that on, you'll see that now I get some information as far as my rogue AP. So this is where I'll get information about any rogue devices that are out there, the devices that saw them, my access points, and any information I have about that rogue AP, like its SSID name, and so on. So that's it for the map view here. Now let's go back and finish talking about what we were discussing here as far as other things that we can do. So the map view, as you can see, what I just showed you, is a pretty easy way to look at what's going on in the network as far as where your APs are, about what the coverage should be, where any rogue APs and clients may happen to be as far as with respect to those APs. Now, a few other things here. As far as network monitoring and management, we have the SpeedFlex tool. Now this can be troubleshooting and it can be monitoring depending on how you want to use it. The SpeedFlex tool here gives you a way to test performance between two different devices. Now typically it's from a ZoneFlex and an AP to a client, or it could be between two APs, one of the other, and that'll give you a way of finding out what your current real-time throughput is between these two devices. So it's very intuitive, it's very easy to use, it's got an actachometer style interface here, and you can run it for uplink or downlink or both. And then the last thing to talk about here is the system diagnostics. Now, whenever you're working with a system and you want to look at something in more depth, typically the first thing you want to do is you want to turn on debugging, which will give you more detailed logging information. So the debug log for the Zone Director is under the last tab there, under Administer. There's a Diagnostics submenu. And from there, you'll be able to go here to where it has debug logs. And then from there, you can set and choose the options you want. Now, these are set by module. For example, access points, 802.1x, 802.11, and so forth. So turning those on will increase your debug level. There's also some other diagnostic information, such as, for example, a ping tool, a trace route is in here as well. And then finally, if you're talking to tech support and they need a way to get all of the information on the system very quickly from you, there's also a Save Debug Info button, which will let you create everything in a file that you can then send to tech support.